Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Torchwood reaction. This is Red Live, and my name is Matt. And hi, how's everyone doing today? We're watching more Torchwood, and last time on Torchwood, what happened? So we had the middleman, and in that episode, we we dealt with the FICOR boss, or CEO, or whatever his actual title was. Jack infiltrated there and lied his way into talking to him. We essentially learned that FICOR isn't really to blame for anything. Whoever is causing this is actually doing it from like behind the shadows, just hiding in the shadows, doing everything behind the curtains. And it's a series of micromanagements that end up leading into the final FICOR situation where they are benefiting from it. But like, they didn't really do anything. It just happened that way. So now we're encountering a situation where who's behind it? Okay, it can be some shadow organization that we don't know about that can micromanage shit. It can be some sort of AI micromanaging shit. Some sort of virus. It could be like an alien virus. But at this point, I was talking about this like previous episode. I was like, what is it? Because like it's easy to just say, well, it's some alien bullshit, right? It's some aliens that are just infiltrating Earth and they're doing this shit to us. But like that's like the easy route we can go. So we either need like a really cool motivation for them to do that, like a awesome revelation, or it has to be something else. But I can't really think about what it could be, you know? So that's where I'm stuck. About what are we doing here? So we also dealt with Maloney or whatever his name was, the fucking ball asshole. Esther didn't do heat moves on him, but she fought him, and then fucking Ralph, was that the name of the dude? The fucking soldier dude. He just showed up and saved her. That was cool. Gwen blew up like the facility in Cardiff. I was thinking about this later. Like, were there people inside there or not? Because like, if yes, then that's really fucked up. But let's assume there were no people there up until like 6 a.m. I wasn't sure. Oh yeah, there were no people there because they already burned them. The episode before that, like we saw the fire, so they already burned them, and then until 6 a.m. next morning, nothing would happen. Okay, I get it. So, yeah, that entire episode happened within like a couple hours. Cool. All right, so there we have. Now the world knows about what they were doing, what the government was doing. We outed that. That's pretty good. That sounds like a detour, but it's pretty good. I like exploring that aspect of what it would be like if something like this were to happen. But yeah, anyway, that's it for previous episode. Now we're jumping into the next one. Episode, what was that? 7? 7, yeah. Man, it's crazy to think that like we're over halfway through the season. Like I'm getting close to the end because it feels like not much has happened. And we already we've talked about this on like the comments and stuff. People have been like, yeah, this season drags on a little bit. And I'm just like, yeah, it has. This season could be like 5 episodes, like Children of Earth, maybe 6. You can push for 6 or 7, but I feel like it should be half its length. But you know, the way I described it was that this feels more like a trashy American action show that you just kinda are on TV and you're just kinda sapping, and eventually you just see some cool shit exploding. You go like, all right, I'm just gonna leave it there, and then that's it. You're not actually following an actual like story with characters. It's more like cool shit is happening. You go like, all right, I'm just gonna leave it there in the background while I do other shit. But it's a mixture of both because it's both. But that's the vibe that this almost has. But anyway, we can jump into the next episode now. Yeah. By the way, I'm just gonna say before I forget, like the videos and like the comments and the subscriptions if you want to do that, because that really does help the channel. Like the channel is kind of stagnant, and I'm realizing that I should probably start doing the thing where I'm asking people to help me out with that. So yeah, YouTube algorithm is fucked like that, so you should actually help me out doing all the buttons and stuff. Whatever. well, Torchwood is about to end, so it doesn't matter too much. But next show I'm going to be watching is Good Omens. I'm telling you right now, I'm watching Good Omens after this is over because it's short, and I just kind of want to do it. And then after that, we're going to have a poll running, and that poll will tell me which show would be after Good Omens. Okay, I feel like Good Omens is a good, just like whatever, let's go show we can do within like a month and a half. So yeah, okay, cool. Let's jump into it. So, Torchwood, season 4, episode 7. Let's go. 1927. Okay.
That's me.
Welcome to America, Mr. Harkness. There's your visa. All stamped.
Grazie. I mean, thank you very much, Inspector.
Okay, I was wondering. So this is gonna matter. Who are you? He said grazie. So is he Italian or?
I always dreamt of coming here. Angelo Colasanto. Magia oscura.
It's not magic. Technology.
Yeah, listen, you gotta come down to the car. I'm gonna show you something.
Yeah. Well, because she has the lenses on. Like she has to play this part.
Save your money, Angelo Colasanto.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple rough years coming ahead.
Scars.
Ooh.
You been in a lot of fights?
Sometimes you have to defend yourself, you know.
Okay, this is what we're doing.
Then what?
Then I would do this. I feel like it's gonna get into. No, it didn't get interrupted at all. We just jump right into it. I was gonna say there's a lot of fucking in the season, and then I remember what show I'm watching. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. We used to have a lot of that back in the day too, when there were people that were alive.
People moving so fast they're not looking at me. So I can move fast on my own. Faster than anyone.
Spoken like a true American.
Really?
What happened to your eye?
Yeah, I
I was
noticed
born with it.
something happened. His eye is red. Yeah.
People wouldn't know if you don't want them to know.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But you two, most of the time.
I really don't care what people know.
Much braver. So, where's this gonna go? That's my question.
What's that?
Fireworks?
Happy 4th of July.
This is all your fault. They want to kill
She's
you, but why
pissed.
do they want to do that?
I don't know.
What have you done?
I don't know.
You've done something, haven't you? Way back when, in a long bloody life of yours.
What are the chances?
That's what makes it so brave and wonderful.
Taking a
Making
chance.
promise and going forward.
Not
Doesn't matter
knowing
what
what's
happens in
ahead.
the future.
Okay.
Right now, it's real and it happens and it's true.
That's a really good way of seeing it.
He doesn't hear me.
He doesn't hear you. Why?
You know why?
We could rescue her.
You could do that. You could do that record thing.
Yes. Pull over.
Okay, let's do it. I'll have to untie you.
One hand for just a second. All right, Gwen.
I'm very intrigued as to what's gonna happen here. Like, I don't like anything about the situation.
You bastard. Nice try.
Yeah. Okay, he was lying.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
He always lies.
This is. They know you.
You need men like us, off the grid. Men who could never be traced back to you. So whatever it is you need, Sal, no matter how dangerous it is, no matter how strange it is, you just found the right man.
There's a box in a warehouse that needs to find its way to another warehouse.
You can count on us. These people are bad. You don't want to be on their list. Get far away.
Who are you doing this for? The government in England? Or the other thing you said? Torchwood.
Yeah, those guys.
I think I'm with you because it's easy. It's not easy. Trust me.
I know. I hear the beads clicking at night, Angelo.
For a man who knows a lot of things, huh? You're not so bright. Think about it. I grew up in a village with 200 people. Only 200. The sun would rise and the sun would set over the same 200 people. And that was it. That was my world. You think I knew every little secret can change my life? Well, then it's already changed. And yes, I feel guilty about what we do. Doesn't make me stop doing it.
We're gonna reveal secrets. So how is Angelo part of the plot, though? This happened in 1927, like...
I've got this friend. He's called the Doctor. He
Mention big
explores the
name.
world with a companion.
You're his companion now. Angelo's gonna get himself killed. This is Torchwood. There are no happy endings in Torchwood.
someone way above Maranzano. They found something, a weapon. They told Maranzano to hold it until after the next state election, then ship it to Albany.
Some alien shit.
It's a parasite.
Okay.
Like a bug. Tell me more about it.
I would put it back in the box.
Good man. Drills into the brain of the host and deposits its larvae there. Little
Dude,
worms.
he's about to attack.
Needles.
On your Angelo,
Into the
probably.
brain very slowly.
Then why are we just looking at it?
But it takes years. Franklin Roosevelt is going to be elected governor of New York this November, but he wouldn't start making the really crazy decisions until his second term as president. Result? America destabilizes, pulls out of the war. Germany rises, the Third Reich triumphant, and there's a whole new history sprawling out. You mean someone is
So we
changing
stop
the
this.
future? Destroying it. They're just being used by someone called the Tricksters Brigade. Believe me, you don't want to meet them.
I heard of them before, I think.
Oh, he likes you. But it's cold, yeah?
Wouldn't this be super dangerous? No, it's not. But did it attack it? Did it attack him or what? Did it shoot something to Angelo or whatever?
Can I stay with you like the doctor? Learn all the secrets.
Here's one of the secrets. Run.
Yeah, cool. I like that. No, I think it's just gonna get himself killed then. But then why make the exposition about the alien? I think he actually did get shot there. But he doesn't know that Jack's gonna come back. Go. Go, dude. Run. Can Jack rescue him? You got a really clear shot of Jack being dead.
Because you know what the worst thing is about? Out of all the shit we have seen, all the bloodshed, all the horror, do you know what is worse than all of that? I loved it. I bloody loved it. And I'd keep telling Reese I was sorry, and I'd say to little Unwin, I'm sorry, but I loved it so much. I knew things no one else knew, and I felt so special. And when we lost people, it was so big, and I could say it was worth it. Because the bigger it was, the more important I was, and the more people we lost, the more that meant I was a survivor, and I was better than them. Oh my God, this is all my fault, and now they've got my beautiful little girl, and I wish this on her.
I just think the same about Torchwood.
That's what I'm saying. Have you got what I'm saying to you, Jack? What I'm saying is no more. I swear, for her sake, I will see you killed like a dog right in front of me if it means her back in my arms. Understood?
Understood. And let me tell you, now that I'm mortal, I'm gonna hang on to this with everything I've got. I love you, Gwen Cooper, but I will rip your skin from your skull before I let you take this away from me. Understood?
Understood.
I wonder if both of them are playing each other for the cameras. Maybe not. Either or, this scene is great. So he spent a year in prison then.
Nice suit.
So you dead.
Explain exactly what happens. Cut yourself and then show him that you heal back up.
You don't know whether to hit me or to kiss me, do you?
You should... Why doesn't Jack just tell exactly what's happening?
Come on.
Like, explain what the deal is and then get to fucking. Alright then, no. This is the order we're taking. The Torchwood order. Okay, he's having flashbacks to when it happened and being like...
What the hell, Angelo? The devil seduces with confidence.
You become super religious, I suppose. Did he get shot by the parasite, maybe? It's fine, he'll come back. Did he get shot by the parasite? Maybe. And he's just going crazy. And they're gonna continue to kill and resurrect him or whatever.
Jack.
Well,
The miracle I want to see. Do it again.
Prova con la pistola.
he said prueba con la pistola. Shoot him with a pistol. Try with a pistol. That's what it sounded. Well, for how long are we gonna do this? They continue to take his blood whatever. The mafia man is there. Do they think that it's a good thing? Like it's a holy thing?
And we don't aim together.
A partnership. What do you say?
Like a source of infinite meat or whatever? Like miraculous meat? Three assholes being like, let's own Jack.
It gets so bright you have to close your eyes.
And by the time you open them, it's gone.
And when you open them, it's gone.
Yeah! Oh, I'm such a good writer.
But the image stays behind your eyelids for longer than it was alive.
Oh, that's poetic.
I've lived a lot of lifetimes, Gwen. I can't tell you everything.
A lot of lifetimes is a consolation, isn't it? Is it? When you've had more lives than anyone.
It's not enough. I don't want to die.
I know.
I like this. So much blood everywhere.
I got some inattention from Nico, the guy who's supposed to be watching you, but he won't last forever.
But like,
The three men.
Oh man.
but like, why did that just happen? That's what I'm wondering. Why did he do those things?
Never go far without it.
Over? And of course!
I was terrified, Jack. They said you were the devil, but other people said you were a blessing.
Something happened to me once. A long way away. Time itself changed me to a fixed point. And now I can't die.
You said you want a companion.
Don't make me do this.
And you're not going without me.
Just let me go.
But you can't! I'm never gonna let you go. I could travel this whole wide world, but where would I find another man like you?
It always ends the same way. You kill me. Men like you. You kill me.
He's gonna be gone. Yep. I wonder if he actually got shot by the crazy parasite. Because we had like a whole sequence where he explained what the thing did. So I'm just like, well, there has to be a reason why they explained that to me.
Find out who that is.
Is this not the... Oh!
Bad day, Gwen?
My boys!
Their hands around.
Yes. Go, go, go.
Cool. Are we gonna see fucking the policeman? Yeah! I forgot his name. Just go! Yeah, cool.
Hey, your family can keep you this safe.
The next time, just ask for help. I'm sick of Torchwood acting like amateur clowns.
Cool. I like that.
I knew you're gonna live.
It's a talent of mine.
Meant every word I said.
So did I.
Oh, that's great.
I pray that death comes back to this planet by the time we finish with you.
So tell us who you are before I let her loose.
You'll want to come with me, because I can take you to the one man who knows how the miracle began, Angelo Colasanto.
So that's how he matters.
He's been waiting for such a very long time.
Yeah, like 80 years, give or take. That's my end of episode. Okay, what the fuck are we doing, dude? What the fuck are we doing? Okay, that episode was really good. It's a good, like in reality, like in real time, not much happened. Gwen went to Torchwood, well, HQ, whatever. And she was like, okay, Jack, come with me. Then she tased him and then tied him and was like, okay, I'm taking you to them. Then when we got there, and during the car ride, I want to talk about the car ride because Gwen and Jack talk while they were doing it. And in the car ride, it becomes very clear that both of them are kind of like, Gwen is like, fuck this shit. Like, she's very emotionally unstable, which I buy. Gwen has been emotionally unstable in the past. And I like that she's even like confessing to her own ego almost a little bit. She's like guilty of having thoughts that are like, well, those people didn't make it, but at least I did. I know secrets that other people do not. Like, Gwen is feeling guilty that she has had thoughts like that. And the way I interpret it, at least, it's not even that Gwen is selfish. She is often. But in this case, it's not that she means that, but it's the fact that she just thought about that for like a couple seconds. Or like she felt that way, like a little bit. And she feels guilty about she feeling that way. Which is like, being a bad person is a choice. Being a bad person or a good person is kind of a choice. It's not so much like your instinct as much as it is your choice whether or not to act based on that instinct. At least that's what I think. So when it comes to Gwen having those thoughts, she feels guilty about having that, but that doesn't make her a bad person. She is just guilty that she has thought like that before, and then she's like, Torchwood is fucked up, and I hate it, and I fucking hate and the part that she hates is the fact that she loves it. Like, she's saying she loved Torchwood, she loved the Torchwood life, she loved everything that happened because it was so big and important, but she also feels bad that she feels that way, because becoming involved with Torchwood leads to fucked up shit happening like this. Her mom was taken, Riz was taken, Anna was taken, and she's like, fuck this, why did I do? Why did I do this? Like, why didn't I get involved into this shit? Like, so she is blaming herself for that, and she's almost hitting a point of self loathing over her choices and her feelings. There's a bug flying around. I'm trying to catch it. If I catch it, I suppose you'll see it. It will be Mr. Miyagi style. But she's hitting a level of self-loathing because she feels like she shouldn't have done any of that. And because she feels that way sometimes of like, I like the thrill. I like this life of like cool, important things, secrets. Like, she's enjoying that life. And she feels guilty that she's enjoying that because now people that she cares about are in danger. And she's like, she's almost feeling like she's been enabling it. Because she kind of has. So there you go. And Jag, on the other hand, he's dealing with the concept of, actually, I want to live. Like, fuck this shit. Like, I want to live. Because the thing is that in the past, at least it's been implied, the fact that Jack wants to die. But the thing is that he doesn't really want to die. It's more like whenever he is faced with the moments that are so hopeless and desperate, or just, of course, the ever-repeating pattern of I fall in love, they die, I feel like shit, I become a loner, I fall in love, and then repeat the circle over and over and over again. There's definitely a point in that circle where he wants to die. Because it's like, I wish I could die alongside this person I love. Like, this has happened numerous times with Jack. Or even, even he runs away before that happens, but oftentimes it does happen. So, Jack has wanted to die at some point in the past. It's not that he wants to die every time, but of course he has hit points where it was like, well, I wish I could die. Now that he's actually mortal, and he's being put in a situation where finally, like, the first time since fucking season 1 of Doctor Who, when he was in front of a Dalek, now he's finally like, I'm actually about to die. And now he's having that moment of like, did I Mr. Miyagi? No, it escaped, fuck. He's having that moment of like, actually, I don't want to die. I want to live. Like, and like the way I'm taking it is because there's so much to life. You know? Because it feels like Jack has seen a lot of shit and he has felt a lot of things. But at the end of the day, there's so much more still. Because no matter how much life you have in you, you will never be able to fully experience literally everything and everyone that there is to experience. That is impossible. So I take that at that point, Jack is like, well, I actually don't want to go. Like, there's so much shit that I still have to do. Because, like, at the end of the day, when you die, I bet that is what is going on in your mind at that moment. It's like, there's so much shit I wanted to do, man. There's still to do. Like, I didn't get to experience everything. Fuck that. I want to experience everything. I'm not giving it away. I'm fucking fighting, man. I want to stay. Like, that's probably what's going on in Jackson's mind. And I like that, because it's like, with Jack, it's almost like it's been implied that he wants to die, but now that he's finally put in the situation where he can, it's like, no, fuck that! I want to keep going. And I like that. I like fighting for the ability to keep going, you know? For just like, there's still so much shit to do left, man. And I do like that. I do like that a lot. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I just remember. I suppose, I mean, it wasn't the same thing, but when I was like, how old was I? Was I like 11, 12? When I was like 11, 12 years old, I was home alone at home on a rainy day. I didn't go to school because it was rainy. And yeah, everyone else left. So my sister actually did go to school or whatever she had to do. My mom was out, my dad was out. And it was also at the era when we were like very poor and there wasn't like a lot of things. But whatever. So I stayed home. I woke up. I don't know what time it was. It was like 8 a.m. So I woke up and I headed to my computer. It was a free day, so I was like, oh man, I'm gonna play some Lego Racers. That's what I played when I was a kid, Lego Racers. It's a fun game. I would go back to Lego Racers any day. Because you could like build a car and Legos are fun. Anyway, so I was playing that shit. And then I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and when I did that, like while I was in there, I heard a window break. Okay? And I didn't immediately notice it was a window breaking. I just heard a noise. And I thought my sister or my dad was still in the house. My sister, yeah. I thought my sister was still in the house. Because I woke up and I just started playing video games. Like I actually didn't know who was in the house. I thought she was still sleeping. Like I thought she also hadn't gone to school. But she did. I was home alone. And so I heard the noise and I was like, oh, something must have fallen or whatever. And then I think then I heard the window cracking or whatever. Then I started hearing a lot of noise. And then I started hearing people talking. And it was grown-ass men. And it was either 2 or 3 of them. It was a multiple number of grown-ass men. And there were a lot of noises. And I was home alone in my house. And I was in the bathroom. Just like standing there like, okay. I was 11 or 12 years old. So then I started hearing a lot of noise all over the house. And these people were just talking to each other and just being like, yeah, man. And at this point, I was like, okay. Am I gonna die within like the next 5 minutes? It is a possibility. And I'm not sure if they like figured that there was someone in that bathroom, because also the place where they broke in from, it was the room right next to that bathroom, like right in front of it, which means that they literally came in, entered the house through the room that was in front of the bathroom where I was in, and the lights were on and you could like maybe see it, and I'm not sure if they did, but they broke in and then they went into the living room, they went upstairs, they went all over the house. And that kept going for I don't know how much time. And here's the thing, is that you're wondering why didn't you call anyone? Well, here's the thing. I was 12 years old. We were also poor. And I actually had gotten like my first phone. Even it was a very shitty flip phone. And like I didn't have it on me because I still hadn't gotten used to the idea of carrying your phone with you. So it was just somewhere in the house that I just wasn't looking at it. I wasn't paying attention to it. So I didn't have it on me. And so I couldn't call anyone. And what's the bug? I saw it on the recording and then it's gone. But that kept going for I don't know how many minutes. I want to say like 20 minutes or some shit like that. But the entire time I was just standing there and I was like, am I gonna die right now? I don't want to die. It would be fucked up if it happened. But ideally, I wouldn't want to die right now. Because I feel like there's stuff I have to do yet, you know? Like, I was like 12. I was in primary school. I was like, man, Didn't even get to try the high school. It sucked. I dropped out, but didn't even get to try it. Didn't get to have like real friends that didn't like treat me like shit. Never had that. Didn't get to have a stable family, given that wasn't gonna happen anyway. Like man, I didn't get to play Leo Races 2, which was out. My computer just wasn't able to run it. Like there was so much shit that it was going through my mind, and I don't know how much time it passed, but it felt like it was a long time. It was probably like 20 minutes, but it felt like a long time. Given 20 minutes is a long time in that situation, but that's what I mean. Do I want to keep talking the story or do I go back to Torchwood? I'll finish it. So, okay, it ends kind of, well, it's not funny, but so the way that ends is that kept going, and they either didn't realize or they were scared to check in the bathroom in case someone was there and they would actually have to commit murder. Because I bet that a couple of thieves don't actually want to commit murder if they can't just get away with it. So they probably didn't check because they noticed someone was there. Because I assumed they would check every door. So the reason why they didn't check that one is probably because they realized. Because, like, also, like, noise happened. Like, joints cracking when I moved, maybe. Like, a little bit, my joints cracked. So maybe they heard something like that. And they were like, and they saw the light underneath the door. So what happened is that they grabbed everything they could. They actually did. They stole a bunch of shit. And that they went out through a different window, which I'm just like, why didn't you go through the same window though? But they went through a different window. They didn't break it. They just opened it and fucking pieced out. So they and I waited like a couple minutes after that happened because I wasn't sure if they had like left yet. So when I went out, I saw the entire house just fucking everything. Everything was just everywhere. They took a bunch of shit, and I was like, well, fuck. First thought, okay, I'm gonna go find my phone. It's probably upstairs. Going upstairs. The phone's not there. Of course it's not there, you dumb motherfucker. They took it. Then why wouldn't they steal a phone? So then I was like, okay, go to the home phone. So back in the day, you used to have phones in your home, and you would use them. So back in the day, it wasn't just pocket phones. So I went to the home phone. I'm not sure how it's called in English, but whatever. The thing is, back then, I said earlier, we were very poor. We didn't actually have the ability in that phone. We didn't pay for the ability to call to cell phones. You could only call to other house phones. And the only house phone I knew was my grandmother's. So I was like, hey, grandma, people broke into my house and they took shit and I was alone. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, can you call like literally anyone so they can come back? Like my mom or whoever. And then I was, okay, so here's the thing. Is that I'm acting as if I was calm. I fucking wasn't. I was freaking the fuck out. And I was freaking the fuck out so bad that, like, I probably didn't explain to my grandma very well that I was okay. And maybe I did, I don't remember. But I think I, like, did a little bit. But she still freaked out because I didn't give her a lot of details. Because I was still kind of on edge. So I hung up. I was like, okay, thank you, goodbye. I have to go or whatever. So what I did afterwards, and this happened as a dumb 12-year-old kid that played too many video games. What I did is that I went to my kitchen, and I grabbed a kitchen knife, and then I grabbed another kitchen knife, and then I grabbed another kitchen knife. So I got 3 kitchen knives on me. And I was like, okay, let's go. So I grabbed 3 kitchen knives that I had on me, and I headed out. I am not shitting you. This is what I did as a 12-year-old. I grabbed 3 kitchen knives and I headed out. And I was just holding them. And again, it was a very rainy day. And in front of my house, it's actually like, it's not like, there's no houses, there's no pavement. It's kind of like a dirt path. And then you have like a small forest ahead of that. But it's like a dirt path. and the neighborhood goes to that direction. But in front of my house, it's like just nothing. So the neighborhood goes that direction. So I started heading that way through the dirt path in the direction that I thought it would be the people that took shit from me, but I wasn't fully sure of if they were or not because it's been a while and I didn't know how long it had been since they left. So I was just going in that direction of like a carriage that I thought might have been those people, and I was just carrying 3 knives. And they were like far away, but I was just going in that direction. I was just like, I was just kind of like doing dumb shit as you do as a kid. And eventually, not too long, like 1 minute later, I ran into a dude that just like watches over the neighborhood. We have shit like that. A dude in a bike that just kind of watch over the neighborhood. And he was like, yo, the fuck? And I was just a kid with 3 kitchen knives in the middle of the rain, bare feet, just through the dirt. So picture that. So that was fun. And the dude was like, the fuck? I bet he was more scared than I was in that bathroom. And then I was like, actually, those people robbed from me. My house is over there. I'm trying to go and kill them and take my shit back. And the dude was like, all right, hold on. Hold on. Let's go back to your house. And I was like, okay. So we went back to my house. And then he like hung out there, like outside of the house, just kind of looked over us while I was just sitting in there. He was like, did you call anyone? And I was like, yeah. And I think he called more people for me. And afterwards, like, a friend of my sister came and dropped by with her boyfriend or whatever in the house, and they just hung out there until other people started coming in, like the police came in and my mom came in and whatever. Back then, also, I don't know if we had a car even. And if we did, it was a very shitty car. It barely worked. But yeah, like, I just thought, this story is going nowhere at this point. They just took a bunch of shit from my house and I magically lived. But it was very funny how I just took the knives and I was like, all right, I'm heading out. It was very funny and stupid in retrospect. If you ever find yourself in a situation like I was, don't do that. Especially if you're 12 years old. Maybe it was like 11. Like, maybe even younger. I don't remember when it was. But, okay, so the point that I was trying to make before I went on that big detour is that Jack probably doesn't want to die. And while he is facing death, he's probably in a situation where he was like, I don't want to die. There's shit I have to do. Actually, there's so much of life that I didn't get to experience, you know? He probably didn't play Lego Racers 2 like I did. So he wanted to play Lego Racers 2, and he was like, no, I'm not giving up my life, Gwen. I'm sorry. And I really like the moment where Gwen is finally like, okay, so when they finally get rescued by Rex and Esther, good job, boys. Love you. Thank you for coming in clutch. Thank you, Esther, for realizing the thing. So thank you, boys, for being there. But I really like the moment that like Gwen and Jack go like, fuck yeah, we made it. I meant everything I said. And Jack is like, me too. Hug. It's like, yes, because it's like these people are so like, they're fucked. And they were clearly having a moment. They were super stressed and they're not perfect. And they're very emotional. And like Gwen said, like, I will watch you burn if it means if I'm gonna save my child. And Jack says something like, yeah, I will rip your skin open or some shit like that if it means I get to live. And it's like, yes. And both of them were like, I meant it. And it was like, good, hug. Because it's like, my God, you two are a piece of work. And you love each other, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have friendships where you love each other. It's great. I love that very much. I love that they were very honest about it too. For a second, I thought maybe they were like faking it, like the shit that they were saying in the car was like extreme because they were like playing it for the camera. But no, they were being honest, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then they were like, yeah, I was being honest, and I'm like, okay, cool. So that was dope. Now, let's talk about the main thing about the episode, and I'm sorry I'm taking about that like 20 minutes into the discussion. But fucking Oh, what was his name? Angelo. Sorry, I took a break in between recording the episode and the discussion, but I think his name was Angelo. Angelo whatever. Angelo Colasanto. There we go. Cool. So Angelo Colasanto, he is an Italian man from a very small village of 200 people. He is a gay man. He seems to just straight up be gay, not bi, just gay. So Angelo took his passport from him and tried to steal it and sneak into New York that way. Jack took pity on the dude. Probably when he tackled him, they saw each other's face and he was like, all right, this is a good man. Also, he's gay, so he's coming with me. So he was like, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to get him out of there. And he was like, he faked his passport and he was like, hey, this man, we found his papers. He can come with us. And then he did. They found themselves a little room in Little Italy in New York and they hung out there and they fucked instantly. Like, I understand that this is Torchwood and this is just the way we do things. But, like, I feel like we can talk first and explain shit and then fuck later. Because what happened, like, kind of happened because of that. Because Angelo eventually just, like, stabbed him. He was like, you're the devil or whatever. The devil seduces us or whatever. And I'm just like, Jack, you could have explained. Because, like, at this point, we already established that he's not trying to keep secrets from him. Because Angelo was like, tell me your secrets. Like, I want to know things. Like, I come from a very small village. And I was like, fuck it. I want to see the world. So tell me about the world. Like, whatever you tell me, I'll believe it. So just do it. And then Jack told him a little bit about the doctor. And the idea that the doctor has a companion. And he's like, you're going to be my companion. Let's go on adventures. And then they met the alien, the parasite. He was like, hey, this is a parasite. This is what it does. This is what's going to happen to the future. And he's like, cool. So you're trying to destroy the future. He's like, yeah. And like all of that, shit that he's explaining. And it's more than what he should know. So I'm just like, why don't you just tell him everything? And I think Jack would have told him everything. The problem is that Jack fucks first, talks later. So that I suppose that's the way it works in Torchwood. Fuck first, shoot second, ask questions later. That's how it is. That's the order, okay? Fuck, shoot, and then talk in that order. Okay? So, yeah. Because I feel like if Jack would have just told Angelo, this is what happened, this is why I'm immortal, this is where I come from, like all this crazy shit, all the sci-fi, time travel, whatever. Like, Angelo, he would have had a difficult time taking all of that in, but it seems like he would have believed it. But the thing is that Jack didn't make any attempts at all talking about that. So, to Angelo, Jack is just some dude who doesn't die, and he's like, hey, wanna fuck? And Angelo's just like, the devil! So I'm not even putting full blame on Angelo for that. I'm putting some of the blame on Jack. A little bit. Because I think it's too much to ask out of someone who is stressed the fuck out, probably had a very rough year, is religious, feels like a sinner, feels like he's wrong, probably is dealing with a lot of issues as closeted gay men usually do because society sucks. It's also the 1920s, and he's all you die and then now you're back. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even surprised that that's where it went. I'm surprised that he was deceiving about it, but I'm not even surprised that that's where the fucking direction he took. Now, the thing I want to say is that so there were the three men that showed up at one point, and they were like, okay, we're gonna split him or some shit like that. That's what they said, right? And then Angelo broke him free. So I'm not sure what happened there, and that's something I want to know. So did the entire Little Italy community in New York were just maiming him and shooting him because because it's a way of being like, you're the devil. It's something good. It's something holy that we're doing this to you. Is that why? So we're never seeing like the bottom of whatever's happening to Jack while he's being like hit and maimed and killed or whatever. Like he's just he's like hanging. He's just screaming and bleeding, and there's a lot of blood. There's a fuck ton of blood. Okay, so the men are saying, I just don't know what it is. How much is the butcher asking? $10,000. Not too much for something with so much potential. Yeah, it's not a lot, actually. And we would own him together. A partnership. What do you say? Agreed. What are they talking about? Agreed? Okay, agreed. And then cut away. And then we go back to Angelo. Like, I'm trying to figure out what happened there. Then Angelo is like, I'm so sorry, Jack. It's just, it went crazy. Like bloodlust. I was so scared. Aren't you gonna take the wrist strap? I'm a good thief. I could have taken it any night. Better clean up. We gotta go. Can you stand? Give me a minute. I wanna... Jack's feet are covered in blood, yes. But those are real feet. What happened there? Like, did they take a chunk from Jack? And maybe that is the source of the miracle? But how, though? Also, Angelo's still alive. Okay, sure. Angelo's still alive somehow. He was there in 1920. He was probably like in his late 20s, early 30s, maybe. So yeah, sure. Let's say he was born in 1900 on the dot. Let's say he was 27 in 1927, which would mean that he would be around 111 years old. Cool, 111 years old. It's not possible. He has to be immortal somehow. Like, everyone is immortal with the miracle. And they also said that he's like the first person that experienced the miracle, or the first person that knew about the miracle, or some shit like that. What did they say? I can take you to the one man who knows how the miracle began. Angela. Okay. The man who knows how the miracle began. He's also talking to these people. So, okay. He has to be immortal or some shit. Or, like, maybe he was the first person to suffer the miracle. And the miracle maybe is connected to Jack. Yeah, with Jack's immortality. But, like, what I'm thinking is those three men that were like, let's own him together. Were they referring to Jack specifically, or were they referring to like a chunk of Jack that was taken? Because here's the thing, again, like, we don't see Jack while he's being restrained. We don't see from like the bottom half. We just see him bloody up and restrained. And even when they're hitting him and maiming him and shooting him or whatever, we see him just screaming, just like this part, but nothing below. So I don't actually see what they're doing. Maybe it would be too visceral. That's the only reason why we don't see it. But it could actually be a thing of like, we fucking chopped off Jack's leg or whatever. And then Jack's leg grew a second Jack. And that is the source of the miracle. And I don't know how, but we use that as fuel for some shit. I don't know, man. I don't know how it would make sense in some dumb sci-fi manner. As it is with dumb sci-fi. You don't have to know the specifics. You just kind of want to know where and why. Like, how. That's it. You don't want to know the specifics. You want to know the source and why. And there you go. So, maybe we know the source now. It's a chunk of Jack. Maybe. That is also just going on a limb. Because, like, what else could it be? Also, they saying there's... It could be just like a shadow group. owned by those original 3 men in 1927, maybe. Yeah, because they just had people coming to try and get Jack. So yeah, there you go. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what the deal is with Angelo. I just have to say, I really like this, by the way. I really like having Jack backstory with this strange man in 1927. And somehow that's coming back. Somehow that matters and it's coming back. I like this. I like this a lot. Also, like, this show really just wants to explore how much we can make Jack suffer in how many ways. Like, we already buried him for like 1900 years underneath the earth, where he died and was reborn over and over and over again for 1900 years. That's pretty bad. But now we just straight up have him just being like restrained and just fucking chopped and maimed and shot just over and over, like fucked up torture for like, I don't know, an entire night, a couple days. We don't know how long that was. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Also, they said butcher. I just realized they said butcher. I mean, it could just be the butcher because they were holding him in like the butcher section. Maybe they could be referring to that. But it could just be the fact that they were using Jack as a source of meat. And the Italians were selling human Jack meat to the people in New York City. Because think about it. If Jack literally gets brought back from nothing. We saw that in Children of Earth. He was like half a lung and an arm and that's it. And then he came back to life. Like he was reformed from nothing. We saw it. So, what I'm thinking is, yeah, they could absolutely be like, well, what happens if we chop him and will he die anyway? And then they saw an arm grow back up, and they were like, well, now we can get infinite meat, and then just for fucking chopping and getting a bunch of Jack meat and selling that because it would come back. It's theoretically a source of infinite food. This is something I asked a friend, and my friend never replied to me. I'm gonna break the question back. But if you like what is the name of the fucking thing? Axolotl. How do you pronounce that? Axolotl. It's a dumb water salamander, walking fish, Mexican walking fish, whatever. I believe you can find it in like Asia too. Where can you find it? Anyway, it's critically endangered, so that's really bad. But if we had enough axolotls, could you have a source of infinite food theoretically? Because they grow their tails back. Could you, theoretically, have a source of infinite food with enough axolotls? Could you? I'm not a biologist. But if, theoretically, you had a lot of them, could you have infinite food in this in the way of axolotl tails? Because they'll grow back up, so, you know. You would need a lot of axolotls, but would could it be possible given enough axolotls? Anyway, the Angelo shit was great. I love how Rex and Esther saved the day. That was fantastic. Rhys is safe, Mom is safe, and Gwen is safe. Cool. I like this Angelo character. I really actually do. So I want to know what happens there. I want to know what happens with this whole thing, and I'm glad that something so personal is coming back as something that matters in the plot of the story. Like, this actually does feel a lot like Torchwood. Like, this one episode, it actually does feel a lot like Torchwood. Like classic Torchwood. And I'm liking it. I really am liking it. So, yeah. Cool. I think that's it for this episode. Half of this discussion was me talking about that time I almost died during a home invasion. Don't worry about that. I'm fine. I think. But yes. Thank you so much for tuning into the Torchwood episode. Yeah. See you guys next week. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of Torchwood. If you would like to see next one as well as full length for this, everything else, you can do so over at patreon.com/Haarute. It's the links in the description for that, social media, everything else, and I'll see you next time. Okay everyone, take care. Goodbye.